Hey everybody, we're in the truck again, and I've been wanting to make this video for you guys for a couple days. I'm in the parking lot, leaving the parking lot of the Rails Inn, and over there you can kind of see the town landmark, the Howdy Hotel, right? But I figured what I would do, actually, is take you guys and show you how to drive from downtown Forsyth to the Quigley. So we're heading due west on the frontage road right now, which is where the Rails Inn is on, right? And right up here at this flashing red light, this is the intersection of Highway 94, which is over there, I-94, and Highway 12, which runs north and south. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna hook a right here. There's my little California stop. We're gonna hook a right and head north on Highway 12. And we're gonna go for a couple miles. It's not all that far until we make our first turn. So that right there coming out, this street right here on the right, that's Main Street. If you hook a right and go down that street right there, that takes you down by the Howdy Hotel and the Iron Horse and the Speedway Cafe and the Lariat Bar, which pretty much those are all the places you're probably going to be hanging out while you're in town. Now this we're crossing here is the Yellowstone River. You can see right down here it's getting pretty big. The water, it's not the clear water that you're used to thinking about the river, you know, when it's back around the park. I mean, that's a long ways to the west of us where it starts out. By the time that river gets down here, it's pretty big and it's pretty muddy looking, but there's a lot of big fish in there. So it's definitely not something to be passed up. So we head on up the road here. The speed limit here is 70, even though it's only a one-laner. So just use your best judgment. You get up here going through some farms and stuff. Now this first road sign to the right, that's our road. That's called Cartersville Road. There's the sign right there. And there's your first Quigley sign, okay? So take a right. Don't blink or you'll miss it, because this road comes up quick. And we're gonna head on up this way, and we've got to go 7 miles. And after a little while up here, the paved road is gonna stop. There's only one or two tricks to this thing, but I'll show you. Way up in the distance over there, you can see a whole bunch of dust. I bet you that's from Quigley guys driving in and out of here right now. There's a lot of traffic on this road these days. But we're not going to drive straight. We're going around the curve here. And we keep on keeping on. And this is cattle range out here. So even though there's all these little ranches off to the sides, right? And a good bit of them have livestock. Like there's a whole bunch of cattle right over there. So these folks all keep their fences in pretty good shape for the most part, but it would pay for you to watch on this road, because if you hit somebody's cow, that ain't gonna be no good for your car, and the person who owns that cow is likely to be pretty angry about it as well. So I don't know what the speed limit here is, but I'm not really pushing it much. Good thing to keep peace with the locals, I believe. So we're going to keep on keeping on. Follow this guy. There's a bunch of prairie dog towns out here too. I bet you guy could make himself some decent money out here with a varmint rifle. See, there's a whole bunch of them out there sticking their little heads out. ranchers around here pay you good money to shoot rodents. The wind this morning doesn't seem to be too bad. It's been a lot worse the last couple days. Yesterday the winds were pretty high, up over 20 miles an hour, and that made for some pretty challenging wind calls on our shooting. And it shifted quite a bit too. It would go from being a 9 o'clock wind to coming from behind you, to going back up and being a 10 o'clock wind. Over the course of a few hours, the conditions changed dramatically. So yesterday it was a real challenge yesterday. So we're going to keep on going. I think that guy in front of us is from Texas, so he's for sure going to the Quigley. We're just going to tag along with him. Right up here, this is where the pavement ends, and the dust is going to start. So I'm going to let Tex pull out in front of us a little bit, and I'm going to start making my wind call right now. I'm watching his dust to see where it's going. So we're heading about northwest right now. So that wind is going to be coming from east, like an east, maybe a northeast direction, right? Maybe mostly easterly direction. I'm going to be thinking that's like how it was the first 2 days I was here. The wind was blowing in from the east. And it might even be blowing a little bit to the south right now, because I seem to have a bunch of it coming right at me. Maybe it's coming from the northeast, blowing towards the southwest a little bit. You got to keep in mind that the range at the Quigley faces to the northeast. So we may have a little bit of a headwind condition here. We're facing straight north right now, according to my compass. So it could be a little bit of a headwind, which actually wouldn't be so bad, really. That's a lot easier of a wind call to make than one that's blowing from the side, especially a real hard wind. Today doesn't look to be real hard. So anyways, we keep on going on the gravel road here. And we're going to start seeing some towers up here, and that's kind of my little, I just filed that away in my head as a landmark. We're going to see them coming up here directly. You're going to cross a couple cattle guards, and at that sign right there, the Y in the road, we're heading on straight, which I guess you could say is kind of a little bit to the left. Right where Tex is going. We just keep on keeping on. Yeah, the wind is blowing straight at us right now. We're facing straight north, so that wind is coming out of the north. So this will be different for today. We haven't had a headwind yet. We've had a tailwind, and that caused us to have to take some elevation off the rifle because it helps float the bullets, right? It kind of pushes them along, helps them get where they're going. Well, today we might have to put a little more elevation on the rifle if this headwind holds. So here's these towers up here I was telling you about. Their cell phone reception at the Quigley is amazingly good. It's as good as it is in any big city standing next to a cell tower, which is you're not in the big city here, that's for sure, but you are standing next to a cell tower. So when you get out here, if you want to upload your own video, or get online to check weather and all that, it's no problem at the ranch. They don't have any Wi-Fi or anything I'm aware of, but you do have good cell phone, so that can give you a little bit of help planning your trip. Yeah, we're facing north again, and we're sucking dust. passed up somebody's pop can in the road too. And I'll bet you that's not from a local. That's from some out-of-state idiot who couldn't bear to have a garbage bag in his own damn car to collect his trash. Pretty pathetic. So we're going to curve around and kind of drop down into a little area with a bunch of draws and some small hills. So that'll be fun for you guys to see. I really enjoy the ride out here, and if I lived here, I would for sure want to be a member of this club. They have some permanent rifle ranges that we're going to go by, and there's steel all over these hills, set at all kinds of varying sizes and distances, where the locals shoot, right? And it just looks like a really awesome setup, really nice layout. And it's coming up here on the right. So we'll slow down a little bit. I don't think you'll be able to see any of the steel, but you'll see the parking area and you'll see the area that they're shooting into, which will kind of give you an idea of what's going on. Really nice setup. So we're coming down towards Quigleyville right now, down the big hill. We'll be able to see it. It's right out there, way off in the distance. That's Quigleyville, and it's been growing by the hour. That thing's getting big. And coming up here on the right, there's going to be a turnoff, and they start seeing some areas where the locals shoot. And it's right up there. I don't know if you can see that garbage can kind of right there in the distance. Oh, actually, that's where Tex is going. Check him out. He's helping you see. So the locals park right up there. And up in these hills over here to the side, they've got steel placed, and it's all up along these little buttes and ridges. There's just dozens of steel targets up there, and it would be just a boatload of fun to sit out here shooting. You could shoot all day and seemingly not shoot the same target more than a couple, 3 times. Really neat setup they got there. So anyway, we're continuing on down, and then we'll see the last of the major Quigley landmarks, which is the famous sign. We pull on in, and I'll drive you guys straight up to the sign up tent, and that'll be it. Basically, you'll know exactly how to drive from Forsyth to Quigleyville. I do want to say one thing though, when you pull in here, the dust on the ground is very, very fine. It's like talcum powder fine dust. And any quickly moving vehicles tend to stir that dust up. And as you can see over there, I'll zoom in a little if I can here, get my fingers to work. There are a lot of campers. There are a lot of people in RVs. I bet you there's over 1,000 people here right now. And guess what nobody likes? Sucking up dust. So once I get to about this part of the trip right here, I slow her on down, and I get to basically where I'm just idling, because I don't want to stir up any more than I have to. Now here's our last major sign right there, the famous Rifle Quigley sign. And then you got your banner, and we pull on in. And from here on out, I keep her pretty slow. If you're just parking, you pull on in to the first little gate right here. And go straight on down the line. Now to the left of us here, right here, There's red and orange, or red and yellow tape on the ground. That's the 800-yard firing line right there, those positions. And now you're starting to run on the left here is our vendor booths. There's starting to be a whole bunch of booths here. And we're coming up now, right up here past these couple of tents and that old van piece right there. That right there is the firing positions for the 600-yard stop signs. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's the painting crew. Oh boy, I'm trying to get you there. The painting crew is up there painting targets right now. I'm gonna zoom out. I can't really do that handheld too good. But you keep on going straight here, nice and slow, and you end up at that brown tent. That's where you sign in to the Quigley and you pay your fee, $35. And they give you a wristband like this one I'm wearing here. I'm in the yellow group. And you're signed in. You go to them tables right there. There'll be really nice ladies there here in a little while. So there you are, folks. You're in Quigleyville.